Welcome back. Thanksgiving has traditionally been a time for families to gather, but for a second year in a row, the pandemic is putting limits on that, and that includes the divide among families and friends when some are vaccinated and others are not.
Keeping it to immediate family, plus our son and his girlfriend who live in a condo. We're all vaccinated and we're setting up outdoors anyway.
This Thanksgiving, I'm forced to potentially expose my girlfriend and myself to the virus because family members refuse to get vaccinated. And if I don't attend Thanksgiving out of protest, then I become the villain.
Vaccinations are not an issue on my side of the family. We're all fully vaxxed, and my 80-year-old father has had his booster. Other side of the family, not so much.
Thanksgiving dinner at our house will include only vaccinated guests, same as any other dinner during the pandemic.
So lots of different responses to what is for many a new challenge of this pandemic. As we do on Friday nights, let's go beyond the headlines. This week with two people who are having those difficult conversations with their family members. Jan Malcolm is in Surrey, just outside Vancouver, and Joe G is in Carlingford, New Brunswick. That is near the border with Maine. And thanks to both of you for joining us.
Good evening, Ian.
Thank you for having us.
Jan, you and your husband, I know, are vaccinated, but some close family members are not. And tell us about the rift that's created.
We all live in the same house. My husband and I own the house, and our family members are in a different part of the house in a suite. And they are dead set against the vaccination, and they're dead set against masks. And we have made the tough decision that we will not have Thanksgiving dinner with them like we usually do every other year.
And what are the conversations like, especially with Thanksgiving approaching, but even before, when you have that very sharp, I guess, ideological divide within your own home?
It was very tense. We felt we were bombarded, and we were told to do our own research. So we did, and I followed Dr. Bonnie Henry here in British Columbia. And while I don't agree with everything that she said and done, I do agree with the science that she has put forward. So I just can't have Thanksgiving dinner with people in a closed environment in my home that are not vaccinated.
Joe, you and your fiance are the only vaccinated ones in your family, and many of those unvaccinated relatives recently did get COVID, and your father died last week, which of course I'm sorry to hear. I mean, first of all, how are you holding up?
Well, it's tough, but there's so much to do that I just kind of focus on the things that I need to get done, and then I usually have my time at night, when I'm settling down and getting ready for bed. So.
And what are the conversations with your family members like, especially, in the wake of the passing of your father, and with Thanksgiving just a couple of days away? What sort of, are you having conversations with your family?
Yeah, there's two different conversations that I'm having, and communication has stopped with some family members, and then other family members, we're continuing conversations that are more, how are we going to prevent this from happening again? So it's difficult. A lot of these conversations started a year and a half ago, and in my family, it just seemed more like tribalism. It started out that the pandemic is fake, it's a hoax, and then there was a lot of logical fallacies like straw man arguments and false equivalencies that I was hearing from family members, and it created a lot of tension. It's challenging to try to maintain those healthy relationships when COVID-19 has pretty much, split the family in two.
I mean, all of this is so difficult, and I had a lot of people who sent me messages, direct private messages on Twitter, who are very much in the situation you guys are in, and some of them didn't want to talk about it publicly, and I understand that, and I appreciate the fact that both of you are. Jan, we only have maybe about a minute for this, but we heard this from Joe. What's the root, do you think, of the vaccine refusal on the part of your family members? Where is that coming from?
They believe different things than what the science is that we believe. I don't know that they believe that this is a hoax, but they have very out of this world kind of beliefs, and we had a big discussion when this first started about the mRNA vaccine, and what I was being told by my family member was not the science, not the biology that I believe. And so I went and researched, as I was said, go do your own research. So I did, and it's just totally different viewpoints on a whole lot of things. So we don't even talk about it anymore.
Yeah, and a lot of people are not going to be talking about it this weekend. Jan, you mentioned you're going to have a small dinner with your husband. Joe, we just have 20 seconds left here. What's Thanksgiving Day going to look like for you and your fiance?
We're going to cook Thanksgiving dinner, and then we're going to deliver it to some family members. It's going to be contactless, of course, and I'm just thankful that I have an opportunity to protect my community. And if that means staying home and spending Thanksgiving without all the traditions and norms and customs, then that's what we're going to do, because that's what's important right now.
Well, again, sorry to hear of your father's passing. Sorry to hear the turmoil that both of you are dealing with within your families. But I really appreciate the fact that you're willing to talk about it, because I think this reflects what's happening in a lot of homes across the country. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.